today, I want to put two well-known applications to the test. On the one hand, we have Chat GPT, and on the other hand, we've got Google Gemini. And my goal today is to see which of these two Gen AI tools actually serves teachers better. So the very first prompt, I want to show you what it is. List 10 interactive learning activities for 6th grade students who are learning about Newton's laws. ChatGPT, go. Let's see what ChatGPT gives us. Okay, balloon rocket races, egg drop challenge, the inertia coin stack, rolling ramp experiment, ball toss force measurement. Now notice for each one it's giving us objective. I like that. That's the learning target, right? Or the what are we trying to learn or achieve through this learning activity? It tells me the materials that I need to collect as a teacher and the activities. Friction ramp exploration, push and pull tug of war. Oops, went a little too fast there. Balloon car challenge, stack of books and tablecloth trick, marble collision lab. All right, Gemini, it's over to you. Here we are at Google Gemini, and Gemini is located at gemini.google.com. So I'm giving it the same exact prompt. List 10 interactive learning activities for 6th grade students who are learning about Newton's laws. Here we go. Build a roller coaster, egg drop challenge, balloon rocket, friction experiment, Newton's cradle, engaging simulations, PhET interactive simulations, online games, and creative projects. So I do like how Gemini is dividing this up, but friends, I have to give the nod over here to ChatGPT because of this breakup here, objective, materials, and activity. I love how it breaks that down for me as a teacher, don't you? So I think in the first round here, we have to say ChatGPT, you get the win on this one. For my very first prompt, I'm giving it to ChatGPT. All right, next up, let's go back to my learning prompts, or pardon me, my Gen AI prompts. Next one, I am a 5th grade English teacher. Create 10 writing activities for 5th grade students that involve an authentic audience, require persuasive writing, and are not easy for generative AI tools to create. Let's copy that and let's go first to ChatGPT and let's input this one. I'm a 5th grade English teacher. Okay, 10 writing activities. They must involve an authentic audience, require persuasive writing, and are not easy for generative AI tools to create. Here's what it comes up with. Letter to the principal, improve the school. Family proposal for a weekend. Now the letter to the principal is good because it should be based on actual contextual details from your school, right? And in that sense, it's not possible for ChatGPT to really do a good job there. Family proposal for a weekend activity, persuasive review of a local place, advice column for younger students, letter to a book character, school or classroom policy debate, that's a great one, letter to a local leader, convince a character to visit their hometown, speech for a class award ceremony, and invitation to join a cause. So ChatGPT is giving each one of these audience and activity. Welcome to Google Gemini. Let's insert the same prompt that we used in ChatGPT. So again, I am a 5th grade English teacher. Create 10 writing activities for 5th grade students that involve an authentic audience, require persuasive writing, and are not easy for generative AI tools to create. And submit. School improvement proposal, community service project proposal, persuasive speech, letter to a local business. I like the school newspaper, persuasive email to a teacher. And you could say that one for number 6, that has to be based on a real situation. Persuasive advertisement for a school event, persuasive review of a book or movie, letter to a local politician, and a persuasive story. So Google Gemini is really leaning hard on my use of the word persuasive. I do like how it adds these tips. These are helpful for students. So authentic audience, strong thesis statements, effective organization, persuasive techniques, peer review, teacher feedback. These are all great. However, I have to say that I do like, going back to ChatGPT, I do like how ChatGPT breaks it up by audience and activity. Over here on Google Gemini, all we see is the prompt or the activity. And so again, I'm going to have to say the win on this one goes to ChatGPT. Let's go back to my list of prompts and select the next one. Now, this comes from a workshop I was in yesterday. I was sitting with a grade 12 or a 12th grade biology teacher. So here's the prompt: create 10 interactive learning activities about the lymphatic system for my 12th grade students. These activities should require students to present their learning in different formats. Okay, so let's copy that and head on over to Chat GPT. No, let's go to Google Gemini first and see what Gemini can come up with. Come on, Gemini. Google, I am a fan. I'm rooting for you here. I want to see you beat OpenAI at least once. Okay, there's the prompt. Let's see what Gemini can come up with. Here are the activities. And I like how Gemini is breaking this up, format and activity. Okay, so we have group activity. It's a scavenger hunt. Okay, they need to locate structures on models or diagrams. We have a system model. We have an immune system debate. We have a comic strip. Okay, not sure if grade 12s would enjoy that, 12th graders, seniors, but perhaps they would. An infographic, a study analysis, a system simulation, a research presentation, a board game, and a video. All right. Okay, pretty good ideas, Gemini. Let's see what ChatGPT can come up with. Over here, same prompt. Let's see what it does. It's thinking about it. Memory updated, it says. Okay, we have a poster presentation, role-playing the journey of a pathogen. I love that. Comparing lymphatic system disorders, model building, a flowchart, video documentary, case study diagnosing a disorder, a board game, a podcast. Hey, now you're talking my language. And a lymphatic science cafe. Tell me more about this. Okay, so I am going to have to say for the third time, I believe, friends, that ChatGPT has won that battle as well. ChatGPT just coming out a little bit ahead with some different activities there. It just seems to understand the prompt a little bit better. So I'm still rooting for Google Gemini on this one. Next one up, this is a very real life situation that I find myself in sometimes. Not right now, thankfully, but sometimes. Here is my fourth prompt. I am an elementary principal who has just received an angry email from a mother of a third grade girl. The mother believes that her child is being bullied and the teacher is not doing anything about it. Write an email that is gentle, comforting, understanding, and lets the mother know that I am concerned and proposes my next steps of action. So just FYI, parents, if you happen to be watching this, I do not normally use Gen AI, but the thought is don't just write the email and then send it, but can Gen AI tools reduce our cognitive load, right? So let's go over to Google Gemini and let's input that prompt. So here we go. I'll try not to read the entire email, but let's just get a sense for the tone here that Google Gemini is giving us. Dear mother's name, I am writing to express my sincere concern. I understand you're upset about the bullying situation. I want to assure you we take such matters very seriously. I will personally look into this matter and take appropriate steps. Come on, give me some steps, Google Gemini. No, that's fine. I will speak with your daughter's teacher to discuss the specific incidents and determine best course of action. I would also like to schedule a meeting with you to discuss this matter further and to answer any questions you may have. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I will keep you updated on our progress. Okay, pretty good email. That's helpful. That's helpful, Google Gemini. Let's go over to ChatGPT, the leader of the Gen AI revolution. We'll see if it can beat what I just got from Google Gemini. So far, ChatGPT is undefeated. Okay. Our students' well-being is our highest priority, and I'm here to ensure that every child feels safe and supported. I understand how distressing it must be to feel that your child... I love that. Now, I have to be careful because some of this language feels a little too formal, but actually that's something we could tweak, right, in ChatGPT. I will be meeting with the child, blah, blah, blah. I would like to connect with you directly once I've gathered all relevant information. This is pretty close to Google Gemini. Just for a moment, I'll show you Google Gemini. I would love to give Google Gemini one win because it has not had a win so far. What does this mean? Show drafts. Is this... Oh, what? Oh, different versions? That's interesting. Google Gemini offers different versions of the same. Wow, that's interesting. I did not realize that Google Gemini offers you multiple versions of responses to the same prompt. So that's a pretty good feature, I think. That's a pretty positive revelation. I'm going to give the win on this one to Google Gemini, partly because of those multiple drafts and different versions that you can actually explore. Let's go back to my list of prompts. Okay, here is an article that I wrote. Give me feedback on my writing and show me how I can improve it. So this is a paper that I wrote in 2018. I don't think there's anything too personal in this. I don't mind sharing with the world here on YouTube. And so I'm going to add that to my prompt. Let's go over here to Chat GPT. Here's an article that I wrote. Give me feedback on my writing and show me how I can improve it. And I'm just going to paste in the article. There's the entire article. What? It's that fast? What? No, that was shockingly fast. Okay, clarify key points. Some sections, while rich in detail, could benefit from summary sentences. For example, after discussing Dweck's influence, you might close with a sentence like, this focus on growth mindset. Establish, okay, all right. Use active voice for impact. So I wrote, in October, I attended a professional development event in Abbotsford, BC. I could write, in October, at a professional development event, I discovered new techniques that transformed how I structure my inquiry units. Okay, yeah, that's a pretty good sentence. Good upgrade there, ChatGPT. Streamline the narrative flow. The narrative sometimes diverts into detailed tangents that can interrupt the overall flow. Okay, I'm trying not to be hurt by your critique here, ChatGPT. Adding transitional statements between sections. After each section, a sentence like, building on these reflections, I began to focus on, or the next phase of my inquiry was inspired by. These are pretty good points of feedback. Break up long paragraphs, yes. Revise and condense. So I didn't tell ChatGPT how many tips to give me, and notice it gave me 7. I have to say these are high quality suggestions for improvement. These are high quality. Google Gemini, actually, let's just copy and paste the entire prompt that I gave. I'm just going to go in this box and copy and paste the entire prompt that I gave ChatGPT. So it's absolutely identical. Sorry, folks. Let's see here. Here's an article that I wrote. Give me feedback. Okay. So let's go over here to Gemini and drum roll, please. Okay, I've copied the entire prompt. Okay, I know they're fast, but this is like ridiculously fast. Feedback on your writing, clarity and conciseness, reduce. Okay, you tell me, Gemini, how I've been redundant. Some phrases can be shortened. For example, early experiences offer the greatest appeal. Can be simplified to inquiry-based learning holds the most appeal for future exploration. I don't know. That's a bit of a different meaning there, Gemini. Reading can become monotonous with a lot of long, complex sentences. Break down some of the longer sentences. Okay, focus on impact. Oh, you mentioned, I was going to say Google Gemini is not giving many specific examples. Oh, this is great. A number of fascinating results. Here's an example of how you could revise a paragraph. Now, it's hard for me to tell here what is my writing and what, I guess this is the revision here by Google Gemini. Okay, interesting. And it also gives some additional points here. A brief introduction and a concluding paragraph. I feel like Google Gemini, don't be hurt by this, but I feel like some of these points here are kind of boilerplate pieces of advice. I'm not really buying that they are particularly tailored to my essay. So I have to give the nod here. Going back to my feedback received from ChatGPT, I think I have to go back. I'll show you the response that I got from ChatGPT. I think I have to go back to this. Look at this feedback. Clarify key. It's just so well broken down. It's concise. The examples are excellent. I even wonder, let's have some fun with this here. Oh, sample revision of a passage. Yeah. I'm going to say this is great feedback. Great feedback. This is great feedback, but make it more understandable for a student in 7th grade. This is where it gets really exciting, right? I mean, if ChatGPT can take my strengths, clear progression. What I'm looking for is slightly less formal language. Yeah. Okay, that's a little bit better. Keep the story on track. Yes, that's better wording. Smooth transitions. Yeah, it's just so clear. Like the breakdowns and examples are so clear. Yes, and this feedback is student friendly. So that win, friends, I'll take you back to the original prompt. That win definitely goes to ChatGPT, and I'll have to keep score later, but that one definitely goes to ChatGPT. There's really no contest. Google Gemini actually did give some pretty good feedback on writing, but I am absolutely blown away by the quality of the feedback on writing that ChatGPT is providing. So it really gets me thinking. Now, I struggle with this as an elementary vice principal because we're talking about 6th and 7th grade students who really are still developing their impulse control. They're developing their sense of wisdom and discretion and application. And I want to be careful about how we leverage these tools and offer them to students. But the opportunity for feedback is incredible. Let's keep going with our journey through the prompts, and let's go to the next one. I am a 7th grade teacher, 7th grade math teacher, and my students are having a hard time understanding fraction operations. List 10 fun activities that I could assign my students that might help them better understand fraction operations. Now, I am not, let's just make it clear, I am not teaching math this year, and I'm not teaching 7th grade math, but I thought this would be an interesting prompt. So let's fire it in. I'm excited to see what ChatGPT does with the same prompt. Again, we're a 7th grade math teacher trying to teach fraction operations. We're looking for some fun activities that students can try. Learning activities. ChatGPT, there's a bit of a thinking delay that happens there that I'll give Google Gemini points for being just lightning fast, it feels like, on the response. But okay, fraction pizza party. This is interesting. So we've got objective and activity. Now, number one, I love that ChatGPT labels those two. It breaks those down very clearly. Gemini was giving us the same kinds of information. It just wasn't, I'll show you what I mean here. It just wasn't labeling them before I asked it to give me more information. Remember that? So going back to the first output that it gave me, it was just giving me the objective and then a little bit of information. And then I had to push Gemini, and now it's giving me materials and procedure, which is great. But ChatGPT is doing it already. Objective and activity. Bake Off, fraction operations. Okay, yeah, I see the connection. Paper chain, fractions, real life fractions. Now, to be fair, to make this test equal, let's ask ChatGPT. I'll say the same thing. These are great learning activity ideas. Can you expand your description and information, or let's say directions for each one? And let's just see how ChatGPT does by comparison. Yes. Now, I didn't use the word directions with Google Gemini, to be fair to Gemini, but this is great. This is outstanding. Oh, it's still thinking about it. Okay. So I'm actually scrolling a bit faster than ChatGPT is thinking. So I wonder if this is partly because I'm on the freemium version of both ChatGPT and Google Gemini. That could be. But again, I love this breakdown. Objective, materials, directions. That's one theme that keeps coming up here in these tests, is that ChatGPT is giving really solid breakdowns. Now, I am a 4th grade teacher, and my principal has asked me to create a day plan that a substitute teacher could easily follow if I was unable to come to school. Describe 10 simple learning activities for my 4th grade students that any substitute could follow. So let's head on over to ChatGPT. Okay, I'm a 4th grade teacher, and my principal has asked me to create a day plan. Just 10 simple learning activities. Math bingo? That doesn't sound super simple. Story starters writing prompt. Okay, that's better. Science sorting game, read aloud and draw. Fraction pizzas. No, I'm not a big fan. These are not simple and easy for a substitute teacher to follow. Provide a blank map outline. Okay, that's not too bad. Doing some map work. Silent reading and journal reflection. Yes, that's the classic, of course. Okay, let's see how Google Gemini compares here. Sorry, I need to skip down to the prompt. Let's zoom out a little bit. Ask Gemini. Okay, by the way, just the history, I believe Google called this service Bard at first. Does anyone remember Google Bard? Or am I thinking of a different service? A simple day plan. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Gemini immediately gets it. Oh my goodness. Google Gemini is already the winner here. It understands that I'm looking for a plan for the day. Morning meeting, 15 minutes. Morning work, 15 minutes. Language arts, math, science. Google Gemini, don't make the substitute teacher create a science experiment. It's a little too much. Social studies, map activity, yes. Afternoon activity, so it really is a day plan. Art project, music listening, singing a song, okay. And physical education, yes. Do some PE. End of day routine, cleanup, homework, dismissal, additional tips. Okay, I am happy to say, friends, that Google Gemini is the winner. Google Gemini is the winner for this particular prompt. We're talking about creating a set of day plans, emergency day plans for a substitute teacher. In about 10 seconds, we had a full day plan divided up into different parts of the day with a number of simple activities. And some of them, I would say, probably don't want to give to a substitute teacher without proper preparation and resources. But overall, very impressive Google Gemini. Once more, just a really user-friendly breakdown of the day, the afternoon activities, the morning activities, and cleanup routines. It's all here. Dismissal routines, it's all here. Okay, excellent. We are moving along. Let's go back to our Google Doc with prompts. Second grade teacher, we're teaching about metamorphic and non-metamorphic life cycles of different organisms. So 20 different interactive learning activities. We'll see how these Gen AI tools manage with 20 activities. Let's go full screen here and put ChatGPT to the test. Second grade teacher, unit, 20 different interactive learning activities and opportunities for assessment, by the way. I want to see that too. Okay, we are in Google Gemini and I'm putting the same exact prompt. Let's see how it does designing my unit. Again, very, very fast. Unit overview. Okay, good breakdown here. Google Gemini, so far you're in the lead, I think. Learning objectives or learning targets, great. Okay, we have the introductory activities. Metamorphic life cycles, some of the same. Oh, it breaks it down by metamorphic life cycles and non-metamorphic life cycles, so this is helpful. A chicken hatching experiment? Yes, that is fun for the classes that are able to do that. Comparing and contrasting and assessment opportunities. Wow, this is really nice. I am thoroughly impressed. Let's go back to ChatGPT for a second. You've hit the free plan limit. Well, that's great because I've also hit the live stream limit. Assessment opportunities. Yeah, I mean, ChatGPT just listed 20 activities, which is great, but look how Gemini broke them down. Look at how Gemini broke them down into learning objectives, but then interactive learning activities, metamorphic life cycles, non-metamorphic life cycles, comparing and contrasting activities, and assessment opportunities. So it's this is so interesting because Google Gemini sort of said, I'm going to include the assessment opportunities as part of the 20. ChatGPT said, here are the 20 learning opportunities. And then the assessment, I'm going to stack afterward. So it sort of interpreted the prompt a little differently. That is super, super interesting. I think this is a tough call. Both of them did a good job, but I think just based on the breakdown done here by Google Gemini, I think I have to give the nod to Google Gemini, friends. I think that's where it has to go. Absolutely. Let me know if you are watching, if you're joining me live or on the replay, how have you found success? How have you found these two services, Gemini and ChatGPT, in terms of supporting what you do as a teacher, your lesson planning, your email responses, your assessments? How has your feedback on writing? We did one of those too. How have you found these services? Do you primarily lean on one versus the other, or perhaps a third one, a different one that I haven't mentioned here today? I'm really interested to learn more about this space, and as another live viewer said earlier in the broadcast, there are much more sophisticated things that these services can do for us as well. So yes, I probably oversimplified things, but again, I hope this did serve your purposes, spark your thinking just a little bit, and I'll meet you next week right here on the Teachers on Fire YouTube channel. Wherever you are, I hope you are doing well, teacher. I hope you're able to enjoy the weekend. Would you share an encouraging message with a colleague to lift them up and light their fire just a little bit more? And I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.